following video contains content and language which may be considered inappropriate for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
What's up, YouTube family? This is your guy Jordan Live. Thank you very much for watching another Jordan Live banger. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. I just want to say, man, I look around at my peers, I look around at my contemporaries, I'm one of the youngest doing it. I am one of the youngest doing it. Banger, this is Random Thoughts episode number 20. Damn, dude. I'm so damn fast. Warning, the following clip is triggering. The following clip will get you in your feelings. The Big Payback by the great James Brown. I told you. We talked last Tuesday, 2 days ago, and I told you the hunt is on and we're the prey. Oh, shit. That's what I told you. And now look at it coming to fruition. We got to get revenge. Let me go ahead and say hello to everybody in the chat right now. Miss Wanda, thank you very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. And Miss Wanda, Budgets and Beyond, thank you very much. I did see and like your video earlier. I liked your cash setup. I love that. Pretty Eyes T, thank you very much, sis, for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, sis, for the share as well. You'd be surprised what a good old share can do to a channel like this. Thank you. And to 8 people watching right now, this bomb right here is for you. Thank you very much. What did I say 2 days ago, y'all? I ain't got to put myself on the screen. You can hear me talking. You can hear the passion in my voice. Medicare, Medicaid, food stamp benefits, and way more is now on the chopping block. Yeah. But this man, the felon in chief, I won't call him president, Mr. President. The felon in chief, he was supposed to help Americans. 30 million people will be affected by these cuts. But we were supposed to help America. Sip and Talk with Miss Londa. Thank you very much for tuning in. Every time I do see family in the building, I got to drop a bomb for you. Sip and Talk with Miss Londa. Thank you very much. Please do me a favor, hit the like button. Please subscribe. At the very least, please leave a comment. Say, hey, hi, how you doing, Jordan? Hope all is well. That's all I ask. Well.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
You punk ass Republicans, oh, you're gonna have a field day defending this action. Yeah. Hell yeah. Because I'm still trying to understand what the benefit is to these cuts. How do these cuts help the American people? See, I'm going to be completely honest with you, and this is where I have to thank the good Lord Jesus right now. Because to be completely honest with you, remember when I said on the last live that sometimes I feel like, there's some things that are outside my business and maybe I really shouldn't touch on? Well, these benefits that are affecting over 30 million Americans, it really doesn't apply to me. I'm not on Medicare, Medicaid. I don't have SNAP benefits. I don't have children that needs to eat in the morning. So in reality, this is one of those things where you can say, Jordan, just shut the hell up about it. But I love my people. And when I see things that hurt my people, when I say my people, I'm not just talking about African Americans. I'm talking about Americans in general. When I see policy, executive orders, when I see violence going on against my people, I have to speak up on it. Last live, and I was on one, I'm not there today. Yeah, I was charged the last live. Not as angry as I was last live, but I am upset that once again, I've been proven right. And I don't want to be right all the time. It hurts to be right, especially when you predict things that are going to inflict pain and hurt. Well, this is going to hurt more people than we can imagine. See, the main story is the executive order that is going to take away, freeze, not take away, freeze the benefits that not every single, but a whole lot of Americans depend on. Yeah. I do have a story about a particular immigrant who was affected by the current executive order. But today, I just mainly want to talk about just our everyday Americans. You see, some things are just put into place to distract us. See, the hottest topic right now is what's going on with DJ Academics. I covered that over the weekend. I have a video about it as well. That's the hottest topic. And everybody was so blinded to the immigration talk and the illegal immigrants getting out of the country. But it was the old banana in the tailpipe. They wanted to distract us from what they really want to do, which is to see each and every one of you suffering. Yes. Absolutely, T. Absolutely. But what difference does it make if we're going to get the illegal immigrants out of the country if they're just going to take away the same benefits that Americans need to live just regular lives? Not even good lives, not even comfortable lives. Just to be able to make it from day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute. I got two videos that I want to play right now because, it's enough for me to just sit here and flap my gums. But see, you got to hear it from the people who are in the know, the people who, it doesn't hurt them either. These are, well-to-do people. But see, A lot of people will argue that there's a lot of disinformation or misinformation on the internet. Well, that's been there since the beginning of the internet. It is what it is. But I always say this. In the shit, there's always a speck of truth. You got to scrape the shit off the shoe to see the bottom of the soul. What am I saying? That there's a lot of things that is going to be put out there to distract, to distance, to just plain fool you. But every once in a while, when you know how to decipher the code, you can see the truth for what it is. I'm going to stop flapping my gums, and I want to play a video that I saw last night. See, again, we're all up in arms about the legal immigrants and the legal immigrants who are out of here too. Again, I got a story about that. A legal immigrant having to leave, and you'll never believe the reason why he had to leave. But my first story is we were told with Trump 2.0 that he's learned from the 4 years of being away from Washington, that this wasn't going to be the same clown show that we saw in the beginning of 2016, 2017. That this was going to be a more mature administration, a buttoned-up administration. But it's been proven to be bullshit.
Bullshit.
That's exactly what it's proven to be. It's still a mess. What happened to the good old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? You thought this man at what, 78, damn near 79, was gonna change? No. Remember, he's a businessman, and the businessman is gonna do what's best for the people as a business. How's that businessman looking out now? He don't give a damn about the illegal immigrants, Mexicans, you, or me.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
He don't give a damn. And the latest action has just proven that further. Just a week into his presidency, there's gonna be some hurt people. And I need those hurt people to step up. T, I see you in the chat. I see you rocking out. And I see what you say. And I feel for you, sis. I feel, because it's not fair. It's not fair. You pay your taxes. You've paid your dues. And now you can't even get what the government said you was entitled to get. Yeah. The dark ages are amongst us. Let me stop flapping my gums, and I want you to hear a story. I just want you to see what I saw last night that made me go, oh, damn. Damn. And again, I don't necessarily have a dog in this here fight, but again, it goes to show we didn't want to vote for the black woman. We didn't want to vote for the woman. No, 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 no. We saw the old white man who survived the assassination and theft.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
We chose him. I love this analogy when it comes to Trump. We had a choice. Now, I know there's women in the chat now, so I'll flip my analogy. We had a choice between the old fling or the new choice. The newbie, the new person in our lives. We had a choice between the ex or the new candidate. And what did we do as a country? I didn't vote for him either, T. We went back to what we once knew.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
We went back to our toxic ex, thinking that our toxic ex was gonna change, and then the toxic ex once again proved they want shit to begin with. And then at the end of the day, you lost a new person who probably could have been good for you. You lost the new candidate that probably could have been beneficial to you. But nope, you missed what you once had. And you went back after saying, you know what? I'm done with you. Bye-bye. Brought the ex back in our lives, and now look, no new candidate, and we just got the ex shitting all over us. But let me shut my mouth. Please hear a story, and I know I already hear what some people's gonna say. Oh, MSNBC, they're biased. They're biased against Trump. Don't listen to them. They're biased. You ain't gonna hear Fox News around here. So let me show you what I saw last night that just incensed me. Check this out.
Chaos across all 50 states of this country by just announcing that they were stopping all the things the government does, all the things the government funds. And, I mean, you could see it, the effects of this ripple out across the country. Columbus, Ohio, Columbus Dispatch. Millions in funding at risk as Columbus nonprofits scramble to deal with Trump pause. The Oregon Capitol Chronicle, Oregon officials scrambling to respond to Trump order freezing many federal funds. In Alaska, the Anchorage Daily News, catastrophic for a state like ours. Alaska government.
Now, this is 3 different newspaper articles from 3 different states, all saying the same thing. What happens when one person says something, and another person says something, and another person says something, and they all sound the same? Well, the truth got to be in there somewhere. Is everybody crazy? Or is the common denominator just what it is? Let's continue.
Governments and nonprofits react to federal grant funding freeze. Florida, the Miami Herald, confusion in Miami over federal grant freeze. Channel 10 in Miami-Dade County, Miami-Dade officials very concerned about federal funding freeze. Idaho grant recipients scrambling for clarity after federal freeze.
That's 6.
Nebraska officials assessing impact of very concerning Trump funding.
That's 7 newspaper institutions speaking on this. So never mind the logo that you see on the bottom of the screen, on the bottom right of the screen. Never mind that. Pay attention to the articles that are being listed, all saying the same thing. You don't think there's truth in that? If 7 people are saying 7 different people from 7 different walks of life is saying the same thing about one person, are we to look at that one person and go, ha, those 7 people are just crazy? Let's continue.
Freeze order. Illinois shut out of Medicaid as Trump enacts temporary freeze on federal funds. Trump order puts $700 million in grants on pause for Louisiana schools. Maine housing authorities can't access funds.
That's 10 newspaper articles saying the same thing. Pretty Ice T says, so he wants us all homeless and wanting food with our kids. Here's the thing about us adults, though, T. There's no school for us that's going to feed us. Oh, that's being frozen, too. Ms. Wanda says he's trying to shake up those governors. If you want that federal money, you better play. So true.
For Trump's federal grants freeze. So the bad news is bad, right? This is them dismantling the government. And it's not because they think there's a nice, smaller government in there somewhere that they're trying to find. This is them dismantling and trying to get rid of the American system of government.
And the question that I want to pose, the main question I want to pose is, how does this help the average American? or at the very least, the same Americans who uses these services, and the children who benefit from these services. How does this help Americans? I thought we voted for the man because, we saw Joe Biden. We weren't getting money. The country was a mess.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
What's this? This is clean? Okay.
That's the bad news. The good news is they're not all that good at this. And we saw that today in the inexplicable, unlawyered, clumsy language of this two-page order to stop all federal funding. That order directed, for example, that the Green New Deal funding must stop. The Green New Deal is a years-old piece of proposed legislation that never actually passed.
It's sad. It's very sad. And the most ironic thing about all this is that, and I say this with all due respect, the poorest of Americans suffer the most. It's not the 1%ers. It's not even the quote-unquote middle class, which, by the way, has all but been dismantled. There pretty much is no such thing as a middle class no more. You're either the 1% rich or wealthy, or you're in poverty, living paycheck to paycheck. There is no middle ground no more. But it's the poorest people. 60% of this country is living paycheck to paycheck, including this man that you're hearing talking right now. Yeah, I got no shame in my game. I'll tell you what the hell it is. Living paycheck to paycheck. Half of America can't even afford a $500 emergency. If your car break down, your water heater go out, your AC go out, most people would rather be cold. They'd rather have cold water. They'd rather not eat 3 square meals. Let's continue.
The inexplicability, the sort of bumper sticker style language of the Stop All the Funding order is why so many of the initial headlines about the impact of this today focused on the confusion, the lack of clarity, nobody really having any idea what exactly the Trump administration was shutting.
See, remember Trump saying, remember Trump saying, the country's a mess. The country's a mess. Remember, black people, you got no jobs. Your schools are no good. What the hell do you have to lose?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh.
Remember he said that? Well, look what we're losing now. Oh, every time I see family in the building, I gotta go ahead and drop a bomb. The drunkles, my drunk uncles. Let me drop a bomb for y'all, man. Shout out to Uncle Fresh Breezy. Uncle Al. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much. Let's continue.
Shutting down, and that was true in blue states, that was true in purple states, that was true in red states.
Okay, so this is not just a Democrat thing. This isn't just something that happened in New York, in California, in all these quote-unquote blue states. This is in Mississippi. This is in Alabama. This is in Arkansas. Or I like to call it Arkansas.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
This is everywhere. Everybody's feeling it. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. This isn't a California thing. This isn't a New York thing. This is a America thing.
As members of Congress and governors and former government officials and members of the press started putting it together, started circulating lists of all the things that this Trump order was shutting down, the White House themselves appeared to be fairly bewildered by the news that this was, in fact, the stuff that they were shutting down. Like, really? We're shutting down veterans' homeless shelters? We are? We're shutting down meat and poultry inspections?
Let's break that first one down. See, America, we was all about our veterans, right? All about the veterans, the American soldier. We've known for years that the veterans have been some of the most hurt people in this country. We've known this. And now they're only going to get worse. Only going to get worse. I'm going to play the one part that I really want to focus in on is coming up. I'm not going to play this entire video, but there's one part that's coming up that I really just want to focus on.
We are. We're shutting down school breakfasts, school lunches. We're shutting down home heating assistance. It's January.
Let's talk about it. Government funding interrupted by Trump memo. And Ms. Wanda, you're right. You're absolutely right. I would be remiss if I didn't bring that up. There was a federal judge that did combat this, and also I believe the birthright citizenship executive order. So you're right about that. But just the proposal alone, to me, is just absolutely egregious. Thank Christ there's a federal judge who I'm sure was not appointed by Trump. I'm positive they wasn't appointed by Trump. But thank Christ there's a federal judge that said, oh, no. So apparently this is paused until Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So T, to answer your question, when is this going to happen? If I'm not mistaken, this is paused till Monday, and then Monday is free game. School meals. You know how many kids I knew? And this is where I gotta give a little thanks to my parents. Let me drop a bomb for my parents. I never went to school hungry. I can honestly say that. And you know, if I couldn't say that, I wouldn't say it. I can honestly say I never went to school hungry. They always made sure, at least before I got on that bus, I had a little food on my stomach. Maybe when I got a little older, you know what I mean, towards the end of high school, yeah, maybe I would have school lunch right there. But trust me, it wasn't free. It wasn't free. School meals taken away. Home heating assistance. You know, when your gas bill comes up and it's $200, $300, $400, $500, and then they ask you in the little IVR, do you need assistance in payments? Yep, frozen. I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to sound like a broken record tonight. How does this help the American people? Hey, Black Republicans, I'd love to hear from you. Republicans in general, I'd love to hear from you. How is this helping? Let's continue, because the list is kind of lengthy.
January 28th. We're shutting down housing assistance, including rent vouchers, which is how people pay their rent. First of the month when the rent is due is Saturday.
Housing assistance. I know some people personally who's on this. Shutting
down food stamps?
Now this is the biggest kick in the balls.
Oh shit!
This is the biggest kick in the balls to me. SNAP benefits. Frozen. Yeah. At a time when inflation is large and eggs is at a high price, milk, cheese, fruits, vegetables, meats. At a time where we're hurting. There used to be a time in this country where $100 could feed your family for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, $100 at the grocery store. Now that $100 won't even last 2-3 days. Let's continue.
SNAP program, millions and millions and millions of Trump voting Americans get SNAP. Millions of Americans of all stripes. The WIC program, that's food specifically for pregnant and postpartum women and their infants.
I'm sorry. That's the biggest kick in the balls. Pregnant women. Now remember, Republicans is all about we're not for abortion. We're not for abortion. Nah, you get pregnant, you gotta have that baby. You said that abortion was another form of birth control. So that only can mean that you want women pregnant. What happens when they can't feed the child that's inside them? Like the old saying goes, you're feeding for two, but you can barely afford food for one? Let's continue.
Childcare, Head Start, suicide hotlines, child abuse investigations, supporting law enforcement, rape crisis centers.
Let's just stop right there. Head Start, made to help children in school. The future of this country. Funds frozen. Suicide hotlines. See, that was supposed to be the big thing recently, right? Like we had 911 whenever you had emergencies, and now you have, what's the number, 988 or something like that? Excuse me if I got the number wrong. But that was supposed to be a humongous step towards preventing that. Frozen. Child abuse investigations, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, this may be a little bit controversial here, but in my opinion, there's YouTube channels that dedicate their time, money, and effort to exposing and finding these pedophiles. And I feel like they do a better job than some of the people in law enforcement.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
See, because those people, they don't mind entertaining the pedo for a day, 3 days, a week, a month, 2 months, 3 months, talking every single day, getting dick pics sent to them. All, a cop, the average cop, the average detective who probably has a daughter, who probably has children, he's not gonna waste his time entertaining a pedophile. But any funding that went to that, frozen. I'm not gonna say the word, but you see the word there, grape crisis centers, frozen.
Medicaid, which is health insurance for millions of Americans, including especially disabled people, old people, and, oh, by the way, it covers 40% of all births in America. And this isn't stuff that they were like...
Let me bring that, I have to bring this up. Medicaid. Millions of Americans, including Trump-loving Americans, is on Medicaid, Medicare, with the thought or the want to get off of these programs. And now it looks like they're even further from that reality now. See, I'm going to be honest with you. This is no surprise to somebody like me. This is no surprise. We knew that we knew that tough times was coming. We knew that, because Doge, whatever the hell you want to call it, the Department of Government Efficiency, was created by Trump, headed up by Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, to take care of some of these governmental things, to take them away in the name of efficiency. Oh my God. Lord help us. Now, you gotta be fair. We gotta be fair. The Trump administration did have a press conference, and they did allude to the following. I'm gonna be fair here. I shouldn't be fair to these bastards, but I'm gonna be fair.
Told them what they had just done and pushed back hard. Later in the day, they put out a new directive insisting, oh, no, we didn't mean food stamps. SNAP isn't being stopped. Oh, we didn't mean that. Oh, and neither are funds for small businesses and funds for farmers and Pell Grants and Head Start and rental assistance, quote, and other similar programs. Anything that sounds good that people might get mad about, we didn't mean that. We just meant government, which sucks, right? We didn't mean all the...
See, my problem with that is again, and you, T, Pretty Ass T, Miss Wanda, y'all know better than I. They tell you what you want to hear. They tell you what you want to hear. No, your food stamps, no, that's okay. Your farmers, you're good. They tell you what you want to hear, but on the back end, they're doing everything they can. I almost cursed that. F you over. They're doing everything they can to mess you up. Now, and again, I'm going to be fair because, Ms. Wanda, you mentioned about the federal judge, and you are right. You're right.
In Washington, Democrats in the House today called an in-person emergency all-hands-on-deck in Washington meeting tomorrow to plan a response that they say includes not just legislation and communication, but also litigation. That emergency all-hands-on-deck meeting today called by Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader in the House. Today, a lawsuit brought by Democracy Forward has blocked the funding freeze already. It is blocked at least until...
Now, let me just pause right there. Let me go back to this. Dems to hold an emergency meeting tomorrow on Trump's spending freeze. This should gain favor with the Democrats, shouldn't it? Yeah. All you Republicans who voted for Trump, and you see that your food stamps, your child's free lunch is being affected, and they're holding meetings to stop it. Now, there's not now, Miss Wanda, you absolutely right. No real action from them. Very performative. But when you're desperate, you're gonna cling on to any help you can get, right? Ain't that a shame? That the Democrats is all the help that they can rely on right now. Can't rely on Trump now. You can't rely on Republicans. They trying to F you over. The Democratic, the same party you said no thank you to in the November election, that same party could save you. Because I promise you, the federal judge who put a temporary block on these freezes, I promise you, he or she's not a Republican. Let's just finish up this last little clip here.
All hands on deck meeting today called by Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader in the House. Today, a lawsuit brought by Democracy Forward has blocked the funding freeze already. It is blocked at least until next week. You know the group Indivisible? They've been doing big, impressive organizing meetings all over the country this week. Look at these pictures of their numbers that are turning out at their meetings right now. These organizing meetings, again, all over the country. Indivisible is calling on Democratic senators in response to what Trump has just done, telling them what Trump has just done here in this last couple of days is so extreme. This is so bad. Democratic senators need to not wait to see what else he's going to do. They actually need to take relatively extreme action in response right now.
And this is where I break off from this video. This is where I break off from that. I think those Democratic senators are a bunch of pansies. They're scared of Trump. They're scared of quote-unquote power. They're not going to do nothing. Ms. Wanda, you are absolutely right. It's a performance. It's to gain favor. It's to gain favor. I said it before Trump got elected, and I'll say it again. The future of the Republican Party, at least when it comes to presidential elections, it all hangs in the balance these next 4 years. If this country is in a worse state than it was last year with the old man whose brain was literally melting in front of us in Biden, if our country is worse than it was with him, the Republican Party might not see another Republican president for the next generation. Now, I do believe, and I've said this before too, I do believe that the next president is going to be a Gen Xer. I think Trump is the last boomer president that we're ever going to have. I believe that. However, how can you wipe off the stink that is already on this presidency in its first week? Again, we had the toxic ex in Trump, and we had the new broad in Kamala. We said no. We said, you know what? X, bye. We're done with you. We're tired of you. And we went right back to the toxic ex. And I also said that when you do that, when you choose the ex over the new broad, there is no honeymoon period. We expect you, and I mean you, we expect the ex to perform day one. You don't get 6 months, 9 months, 8 months. No. You better show up and show out immediately. That's not what's happening right now, folks. It's not. Let me play another video. And again, this is the last video I'm going to play on this before I move on really quickly to the legal immigrant who found his way out of this country. And all he tried to do was do the right thing by getting his citizenship. This is Chuck Schumer, again, going back to the boomers. We're going back to the boomers, T. Remember this big nose prick here? Yeah, we're about to hear from him. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Vance is on deck next. You know, I used to think, like, I wonder if he'd be any better. I don't really know. I don't. But I know already there's signs that he don't seem to be agreeing with a lot of these decisions. Remember, he has very young kids. Very young kids. Now, those kids are well off. but he has kids nonetheless. So maybe there is a little bit of, maybe he does have a little bit of heart. We don't know. But back to this big-nosed bastard. Hear what he has to say. Chuck Schumer. Jesus Christ.
President Trump plunged the country into chaos without a shred of warning. The Trump administration announced a halt to virtually all federal funds across the country. In an instant, Donald Trump has shut off billions, perhaps trillions of dollars that directly support states, cities, towns, schools, hospitals, small businesses, and most of all, American families. It's a dagger at the heart of the average American family in red states.
All right. I can't take no more of him. I can't take no more of him. I can't. Let me just speed this up along. Because every time I listen to him, right? Every time I listen to him and Nancy Pelosi, and I just think about the over $150,000 a year that these people are making. A little bit more in stocks and bonds. And they just make me sick. Coming up there with their suits and, their stuffy suits wear and talking about this is bad for the people. Like you give a damn. So long as your corporate donors and your lobbyists is feeding you and stuffing your pockets. So long as that's happening, oh, you're good. You all right. But it's really the people. It's really the people that are hurt at the end of the day. Let's hear from this man who deals with money. Let's hear what they have to say.
Back in effect on Monday. U.S. District Court Lauren Ali Khan blocked the action Tuesday afternoon, minutes before it was set to go into effect at 5 p.m. The administrative stay pauses the freeze until Monday. Bobby Kogan, the Senior Director of Federal Budget Policy...
I hope that I'm proving to everybody that, I'm not as partisan as you may think. I get it. I can understand why you think from the last live I did, and kind of from this live too, that I'm all about the Democrats. I think the Democrats are going to save us. I've said it for years. I've said it to Democrats. I've said it to Republicans. I've said it to independents. When I'm talking about Democrats and Republicans, they're two sides to the same coin. I'll call out all hypocrisy. All hypocrisy is wrong, regardless of who's doing it. I'll call them out too. They make me sick how they just wait until, again, the shit hits the fan. And now you want to stand up there with your nose turned up and your holier-than-thou speech? Acting like you care?
At the Center for American Progress joins us to discuss who may be affected by this decision. Bobby, how are you doing?
Doing great, Robert. Thanks so much for having me on.
Well, thank you so much. Talk a little bit about who exactly this order, this executive order would impact if it was to go into effect on Monday.
Sure. So it is, they say it's not Medicare, it's not Social Security, and it's not payments that go directly to individuals. So that means not something like SSI and not something like veterans compensation, but it's much of the rest of the aid that the United States government gives. That's stuff like Section 8 housing, that's stuff like LIHEAP, that's stuff like Title I education grants, that's stuff like IDEA education grants for kids with disabilities. It's most of the things that people actually are relying on. Now, the asterisk here is that after kind of spelling out over 2,000 budget accounts, internally, externally, the Trump administration walked it all back. And so their internal messaging implies that it's lots and lots and lots and lots of programs that Americans rely on, and their external messaging implies that it's nothing.
And so, as we've
Let's not pretend Elon don't have Trump's ear. Let's not pretend Zuckerberg don't have his ear. Zuckerberg, what a name. Jeff Bezos. You remember that famous picture? And it's a picture that I can never get out of my mind, and I think it's going to stay in the minds of the American people. Do you remember when we saw that picture at the inauguration of Elon, Bezos, and Zuckerberg all sitting right next to each other? Three of the richest men in the world sitting right behind the President of the United States. Not his cabinet, not the senators who pushed for him to get in office, but 3 billionaires who could give a damn about us. Let's continue this real quick. Then I'll get into my next story. I don't want to drag this. It's a mess enough. Sometimes a real mess, don't really have to be spoke on. Sometimes you can just see the mess and go, it needs to be fixed.
seen before, when President Trump was running for office, he said, I know nothing about Project 2025. I've heard nothing about Project 2025. I don't know who these people are or what's happening. But this is directly out of Project 2025. So should we believe their external messaging that we saw at the White House briefing today, or believe the internal documents which truly say they want to gut these federal programs?
I think we should believe the internal messaging. If you look at the budget request that Trump made when he was president last time, he called to eviscerate the social safety net. He called to cut SNAP in quarter. He called to cut Section 8 in third. He called to cut Medicaid in half, right? So they clearly want to do this. Whether their walk back is all a show or they got scared and wanted to lie about their initial policy, I think is a different thing. But it's very, very, very clear that externally they were feeling the heat. But to your point, I think that we should assume, and we had, you know, there were reports today of folks, states logging in and not being able to get their Medicaid money for the upcoming quarter. There were pauses on Head Start grants and that sort of stuff. So it's very clear that they were working towards pausing huge amounts of the federal government.
And what we've seen thus far with these 300 executive orders plus that were still coming down the pipelines is it seems that they're attempting to flood the zone. That if you throw enough crazy things out there minute by minute, hour by hour, there will not be enough money for lawyers to challenge every single one of these executive orders in court. There will not be the scrutiny to be able to dive into each of these things, because before you get through one, another crazy thing is going on. What can people actually do to fight back against these orders, and what does this administrative stay mean?
Yeah, I think that that's astute, right? I mean, the common theme of the Trump administration, the thing that runs through all of it, is chaos for the American public. I'm not sure what an individual can.
He was supposed to help the American public. He was supposed to be about the American public. He was supposed to assist the American public. But that's not happening now. Y'all, I'm not going to be long-winded on this live. I went a little long on the last live. But I just want to say this. When people show you who, Miss Angelou, I miss you. God rest your beautiful soul. Miss Maya Angelou. When people show you who they are, believe them. To the orange bastard's credit, he's doing what he said he was going to do. But we want to focus on the illegal immigrants. We want the J6ers pardoned. We want everything Obama and Biden did. We want it gone.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
And you didn't focus on the things that would actually hurt you. the Department of Government Efficiency is a scam meant to hurt the people, the public. And now we're seeing the worst of it. I'm going to save my ending monologue. But I want to switch gears real quick because, I think we've chewed the fat on that. Oh, see, it's not over. Oh, hell no, it's not over. I'm sure I'm going to make more lives talking about some of the executive orders coming back. So I'm going to switch gears right now. Y'all seen it last live, and, I've apologized maybe 3 or 4 times now, and I'll apologize for the 5th time for some of my harsh language the last live. I was on one. I'm a little calm now. But I was fired up. Not necessarily about the illegal immigrants who's going to get out of this country, but I'm thinking about the children. The children who they had no choice. They didn't want to be here. They didn't ask to be here. Them being dragged out of schools. Them crying and confused in a ICE detainment cage. I was triggered by that thought and that visual in my mind. But I want to show y'all a story that I seen of a wife telling her truth. How her husband, and I'm going to let her say it in detail, but how her husband is an immigrant. And the reason, I want you to really focus here. The reason why I want to play this video, I want you to focus on the reason why this man was deported out of the country and why his citizenship, his legal citizenship, was taken away. Check this out. Oh, there's no sound. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Just got another letter from Immigration Services. I've made a video about this before, but I'm a U.S. citizen, born and raised in Tennessee, went to college at University of Kentucky, met my husband there. He's an immigrant. He moved over to the U.S. for college on an athletic scholarship from England. We've been married.
All right. So her husband's not a Mexican. Her husband's not a Venezuelan gang member. Her husband is originally from the United Kingdom. And they met off of his scholarship in a college in Tennessee. Let me let her finish up.
At University of Kentucky, met my husband there. He's an immigrant.
Oh, never mind. Kentucky. My bad. Kentucky.
Met my husband there. He's an immigrant. He moved over to the U.S. for college on an athletic scholarship from England. We've been married almost 3 years now. We're coming up on 3 years. So you would think he is well on his way to achieving his citizenship, or at least having his green card, right? No, wrong. And why can't he get his green card? Because his medical records aren't complete. And what is missing from his medical record?
Pay attention. Pay attention. His medical records wasn't correct in the eyes of this new administration. Pay attention to the reason why his medical records didn't fit the bill for the Trump administration.
Or at least having his green card, right? No, wrong. And why can't he get his green card? Because his medical records aren't complete. And what is missing from his medical record? The COVID vaccine. Like, it is the year 2025, and we are still requiring the COVID vaccine.
I told you, man. I told you. Don't fuck with me.
Now, remember a couple years ago, that was a naughty word. Ooh, can't say COVID. Oh. Remember that was a naughty word? Remember, I go back to the disinformation in the media. Remember when Republicans was all about the jab, they were against the jabby jab?
Aren't complete. And what is missing from his medical record? The COVID vaccine. Like, it is the year 2025, and we are still requiring the COVID vaccine. You can see it right here. It's backwards. Disregard. Complete the COVID-19 vaccine.
Y'all, the Trump administration told this man, you didn't get a vaccine. You can't stay in the country. Huh? I thought Biden and the Democrats was all about the jab. They're trying to push poison in our veins.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
That's what you said. Republicans, that's what you said. You said that Biden and his administration was pushing it, and to your credit, you were right. They did push it. I ain't gonna lie. I went back and forth for months over should I get it. I never eventually got it, but the point is that there was so much of a push to get these jabs that it even has somebody like me who works from home. I don't even go out. I don't communicate with a lot. Well, I'm not face to face with a lot of people. Even had me thinking, should I? Should I get this? I'm gonna let her finish.
But this is what they do. This is what they do to people who do it.
I gotta rewind it though. I have to show the hypocrisy of Republicans. I gotta show the hypocrisy. They pushed that bullshit for years. Don't get it. The government don't want you to don't get it.
Vaccine. You can see it right here. It's backwards. Disregard. Complete the COVID-19 vaccine. But this is what they do. This is what they do to people who do it the right way. I can't even tell you how much money, thousands of dollars, we have spent on the different forms and applications and immigration lawyers and all of the different things. All for everything to expire on their time anyways. And for all you people who say, oh, Riley, your husband's here illegally, he should be deported. Just so you don't understand immigration, he is very much here legally. There are other ways to obtain residency than a green card, like visas or advanced parole. Or those of you who say, this is what you get when you voted for Donald Trump. Obviously, my husband can't vote, but if he could, he would have voted for Donald Trump. Change is coming with the current administration, but he has to undo everything that the former administration has done to our immigration system, both legally and illegally. Oh, and when they campaigned on the tagline, my body, my choice, this is proof they never really meant that.
They're going after legal immigration? They're going after legal immigration. She didn't get this letter from the Biden administration. No. She got that from the Trump administration. Why not? Why not? You could tell, and Ms. Wanda, you could tell she voted for him. This is not a Mexican. That was not a Mexican you just saw. That was not a Venezuelan. That wasn't even a black girl. That was a blue-eyed, blonde, white woman saying that her white British husband can't get back into the country until he has the jabby jab. Republicans, I thought COVID was over. I thought COVID was done. What happened? Let me just say this, right? It is so sad. This country is in, and this is my closing monologue. I'm not even going to drop I'll drop the link this weekend when we do a full show. Just reviewing some of the things. I'm going to come back. I'm going to come on back. I believe either Friday or Saturday. I'm going to come on back. And we'll do a full show. We'll have a whole panel. But this country is now in chaos. It's a mess. And we're now on free fall. We're now in free fall. And we were told that, was told by, this person in office, things will get better day one. Things will get better week one. Can you honestly say with a straight face that this is better? All the benefits that's going to be taken away? All the legal immigrants that's trying to come into this country, the right way. Is this better? I don't think so, y'all. I don't think so. I end this live with the way that I ended my last live. The hunt is on. And we are all the prey. I want to thank y'all very much for hearing me out. We did an hour and 11 minutes, I'm starting to realize, YouTube, on a different note, YouTube, you don't like prioritizing long lives. You put all this money and infrastructure into live streaming, and you don't even push out the long lives. Nah. You're prioritizing shorts and short form videos than live streaming. So now I realize that I got to try to keep my lives a little bit shorter. Let me go ahead and talk to y'all in the chat. Y'all, Ms. Wanda, Pretty Eyes T, I swear, y'all are the biggest supporters I have, and let me just drop a bomb for you two, because you two are the biggest supporters I have, and I thank God for you. Please, if anybody is watching right now, 7 people are watching right now, please check out Miss Wanda's latest video about her cash saving, because I think it's fantastic. And it's exactly what we need now. We're not going to have a savior. There's not one person or 2 people or 3 people that's going to help us. It's not happening. Not in this lifetime. Or at the very least, not in these next 4 years. It's not happening. Sip and Talk with Miss Londa. Oh, thank you very much. I hope you have a good night, too. Thank you so much. T, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's hard to save. It's hard. It's tough when the majority of our income is going right to bills. It's going right to inflation. It's getting eaten up by taxes. And again, I'm fair. I'm a fair person. I love the fact that Donnie T. Rump put an executive order out. No tax on tips. No tax on overtime pay. I think that's great. I think that's good. Those are 2 strong examples of how two executive orders that can directly help the people immediately. But these other, 200 and some odd executive orders, I'm struggling to find how this helps us. I'm struggling to find it. Republicans, I'm going to give you a little break tonight. I'm going to give you a little break. I'm gonna let this marinate a little bit for you. This weekend, I'm coming back. I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to have more stories of more people crying and moaning and upset and, if you don't mind me saying, kind of regretful for their vote. I'm going to come on back and I'm going to give y'all another shot, another chance to try to explain some of these actions that is being made. Maybe we can find a middle ground in some of these things. I doubt it. When things are just wrong, there is no middle ground. There's hardly any understanding. But I'm willing to have the conversation. I'm willing to learn. So with that being said, please be on the lookout. Please be on the lookout for videos coming out. I have a video that I do plan on. Oh, thank you, Miss Wanda. I appreciate it. Now, I'm fair. I know it seems like I'm dumping on the Republican, and to a certain extent, I am dumping on the Republicans to a certain extent. But I give credit where it's due. I'm going to give credit where it's due. Please be on the lookout for some videos coming out. I'm going to go into detail about some of the health issues that I've been going through over the last month or so. This all starting back last December. To any youngins watching right now, take care of your health now. Take care of your health soon. Don't think that you have this invincibility of youth. And I can understand how it can be kind of blinding. But don't think that you have this invincibility just because you're young. Take care of your health soon. Sooner rather than later. Well, you won't be like me racking up thousands in medical debts and procedures. Where if I just would have made maybe 1 or 2 changes, probably wouldn't be going through it. And I feel like that kind of video, especially when I talk about my health, I think it's just a little bit too personal to do on a live. I need to concentrate and really concentrate on what I'm saying when I tell y'all and I give y'all some insight to some of the health issues I have going on. Please. Also, be on the lookout for my second channel, Jordan Live Bangers Gaming. You know, I've stressed myself out, and I think a piece of me feels like I've stressed you out a little bit. And there will be times where we can unwind with a good old video game, and we can just, chop it up and just talk it out. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for the content. See, this is keeping me busy. This is YouTube. I've said it since I started. YouTube is my therapy. This is my therapy. This is it. This is my therapy. And the more that I get interaction with you, Miss T, you, Miss Wanda, you, Sip and Talk with Miss Londa, the more it helps me out. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. Let me go ahead and do my good old roll call. Miss Wanda, once again, thank you very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And please, if you haven't, go to Miss Wanda's channel and check out her latest video about cash saving and what she's doing to just save a little bit of cash. I think it's very, very helpful. And I'm going to share that video out too, Miss Wanda. I think it's very helpful to some people in this country. Although I will say, not a lot of people now that can save cash nowadays. But I think still it's very helpful to those who can. Pretty Eyes T. Your Chiefs is back in the Super Bowl. Now be prepared. Be prepared for the hate coming your way, T. because the Chiefs are turning into the Patriots of the 2000s, and I don't know about you. I couldn't stand them damn Patriots.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
It was some of the greatest nights of my life was when my Giants defeated the Patriots twice. Oh, it was great. So I'm not gonna dump on your moment. Your team is on top, so I'm not. You going. I'm gonna let you have your moment in the sun, but just be prepared, especially next season. Especially if you win. Oh, it's going to be they're going to turn on the Chiefs. Oh, Patty Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes boy. And then Travis Kelce probably going to propose to Taylor Swift. Miss Swifty.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Shout out to Pretty Ice T. She's going live during the Super Bowl. And hopefully, when she get her laptop together, she's going to cover some of the trials coming up. The ASAP Rocky trial and others. Oh, T, me and you, we might have to team up on the Diddy trial. Oh, I can't wait for the Diddy trial. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. T, I ain't going to lie. I might have to cover the Diddy trial. That one is going to be the trial of the OJ trial ain't going to have nothing on this one. The Michael Jackson trial ain't going to have nothing on this one. The Casey Anthony trial, the George Zimmerman trial, the Derek Chauvin George Floyd trial. Oh, it's not going to be nothing compared to the Diddy trial. His Fetso won't be televised. See, now, if there is one executive order that I want Trump to come about, make that trial televised. Make that trial televised. We need to see that trial. Trump can do it. Trump can put an executive order out saying, nah, we televising this trial. But he ain't going to do that. Too many pictures of him and Diddy just smiling for the camera, having a good old freak off.
Oh, shit!
Okay, all right. Now I'm doing too much. But thank you. Now I'm doing too much. But thank you very much, Ms. Wanda, for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you, Pretty Eyes T, for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Ms. Londa, Sip and Talk with Ms. Londa, thank you very much. And anybody who watched this, whether you agreed with me or you disagree with me, just know I am a man who just wants better for himself. And in turn, I want better for my fellow Americans. And I feel like that's all it's about. He get major points, Miss Wanda. Major. And I saw that as well, T. It is heating up. I might have to do it. You know what? I'm calling it. When I go back live this weekend, I'm going to need you to jump on the panel, and we're going to have to do a review of what's going on in that trial. People snitching now. People's telling. People got the name ASAP in their name, and they're telling on the major ASAP.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
But guys, thank you very much for tuning in to another Jordan Live banger. Please like, please comment. At the very least, just subscribe. It's free. I don't put my Cash App up here, and in today's society, I might have to rethink that. I might have to put the Cash App in the bottom of the screen here. I got Jordan Live down here. You know my name by now. I might have to put that. But I digress anyway. I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. I hope y'all stay safe. And just remember, and don't forget this, because this is probably going to be my theme for 2025. The hunt is on, and we're the prey. That being said, I hope y'all have a great night. And I will talk to y'all in the next time. Peace, everybody.